Hello and welcome back everyone to Space Simulation Toolkit, where today we're going to do something a little bit different, actually, the opposite of normal. We're going to go ahead and we're going to build an inverted planet. And what I mean by that is, a while ago we did this test of physics in Space Simulation Toolkit where we basically built a giant ring and then saw it collapse. But I realized that, what? Okay, here we go. I don't know why it's forming from like two dots like that. But if I do the following, and then I do this, boom. We have a ring of stone, which the gravity is pulling it inwards, but it's strong enough that it's holding out. It's holding out, and all we have to do is just build a little bit of earth on the inside, and then we have an inverted planet. By that I mean that it's literally just inverted. The dirt is just stuck to the stone, so it's not falling in. But the idea is that whereas a planet would be a sphere with everything on the outside, this is a sphere with everything on the inside. And I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, you got to be careful not to have the bits break apart, because otherwise it'll just completely fall into the center. But we're going to try to see if we can get this to be stable and then maybe have lava around it to really make it inverted. I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm honestly not sure, but we're going to try our best to make this look cool. A little bit more dirt to make this look a little bit more balanced. That's some very thick plant life. All right. You know what? This is actually working better than I had expected. Obviously, we aren't going to be able to put water. Water is just gonna fall towards the center. But we could put, like, in the ground some water. Like that. Nice. Let's see about making the outside liquid now. If I put a sun here... I'm trying my best. Hopefully this doesn't, like, erode the stability of the whole thing too much. Alright, emit energy, turn that up a little bit. Multiplier, turn that up a little bit. Alright, cool. It is melting. I don't know how long. I could just move it around like this to kind of, you know, heat it all up. The hard thing is when it's on the outside, like, it's got to travel so far. It's got to go so far around. If I increase the energy a little bit further, it might help. We may have to just make a ring of suns around it, which would take a bit of time, but it's not impossible, just annoying. All right, so I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, definitely doable, just slow. I could also just manually go into the physics tool and heat it all up like this. Probably easier. Short-term solution. I know, I'm supposed to do long-term solutions, but sometimes there's just an easy way out. See if I'm able to get the entire edge molten. Here we go. Here we go. We're just inverting the planet. Makes me incredibly happy. The core is on the outside. Generally, that's not how that works, but in our case, the core is on the outside, and the outside is trying to cool down and reform, which is a problem. I just want to get it all liquid at least for a second so it looks cool. Alright, we're close. Here we go. Flat Earthers, I've one-upped you by creating the inverted Earth. It's even cooler than a flat Earth. Not that a flat Earth is cool, it's kind of boring, honestly, the concept. It's not as cool. as a 3-dimensional shape. More dimensions, cooler. 4D Earth, count me in. Flat Earth, boring. There we go. We got it. We got our reversed planet. I'm kind of curious what would happen if there were a hole. I'm just gonna... I think right now it's protected. Like, I think this stone is like locked in place because of how the physics work. Yeah, look at that. We have a volcano going inward. Oh no! No, this one broke first. Oh no! Oh no, 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 it broke. Oh geez, me trying to do the disaster, but it just did it on its own. Yeah, so this is the real problem, other than you floating off towards the center of the sky due to the physics. Also the fact that if the outsider is to break, it just fills up with all that yummy stone. Well, that didn't go well. I mean, it didn't go terribly. It worked for a little bit, but it definitely there was a price, which was the death of everyone and everything. Let's go ahead and do this after tweaking some stone settings to make it a little bit more realistic. Because stone has a setting where it like sticks after a certain point to reduce lag and stuff, but we're gonna set max stuck to like 0 so that it doesn't do that. So it's always simulating. Always simulating! Which means that when there's a ton of weight on the center, it should be a little bit more angry about the stress and the forces that are taking place. Actually, I have an idea. We're gonna bring it even further, guys. We're gonna bring it even further. We're gonna do this. The double ring! And we're gonna fill the space between the rings. Yo, what could possibly go wrong? It's like a filled donut. Oh, all of the water is becoming ice and it's expanding. Hopefully this doesn't cause any problems. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, let's get some earth. Yep. Inverted planet V2. Honestly, not too dramatic. I was expecting it to be a little bit less stable, but it does kind of work. Like, ignoring the fact that if you were standing over here, you just get pulled into the center of the planet. I mean, it could certainly be worse, the situation. I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna increase the pressure inside of this zone in between by increasing the temperature and turning this water into steam. Because I'm curious if it'll crush. I'm curious if the outer ring will break or the inner ring. Probably the outer ring, because... I mean the inner ring, because the inner ring is like way less thick. But you never know. There's a reason we test these things. And it's that I enjoy chaos. The inner ring is definitely shrinking a little bit, and the outer ring is definitely expanding a little bit. They're both dealing with the exact opposite form of stress. And then there's just me dealing with financial and emotional stress. Being an adult, isn't it wonderful? Alright, I think it's time for us to pump a little bit more water into there. We're going to turn down the sea distance, which is our trick when we want to create pressure. And now we're going to pressurize. Like, oh! Okay, so the inside definitely collapsed first. It just got absolutely crushed. But the outside, as you can see, got a little bit of a crack going on there. Little bit happening. If we just had a little bit more pressure, I'm curious. Curious how much pressure it'll take. Quite a bit, apparently. It's basically ice. Ice at this point. It's not even water breaking through. It's a solid stream of ice, which is growing out. A mountain. Oh, whoa! That's crazy. It's going past the suns, and it's getting immediately turned into water, but there's this little icicle that's surviving in between them. It's gonna break, though. It's gonna break. Flush. Oh, and we have another crack here. You know, it's always the first crack to form is sometimes not the one that's the big one ending up. Well, I'm just shooting out this massive glacier. Like, absolutely massive glaciers are now covering the planet. Interesting. Why don't we just pump some lava into there? The lava immediately becomes stone because of all the ice, and the ice immediately becomes water and steam. So much pressure, it's actually just going to start throwing entire rocks out. Oh, never mind. The pressure decreased at the last second. Wow. Would you look at that? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You may just see lava and water, but I see potential. So that was cool. So yeah, you can do some fun donut tricks in this game. You know, not every game lets you build a donut. I wonder if I built. Oh yeah, let's try something a little bit. Whoa! I did the thing where the C distance is still off, really low. C distance. Yeah, turn that bad boy up to 1. All right, there we go. That's what we want. Metal does not play nice when you mess around with its C distance. It just explodes. So like, metal is extremely strong in this game. Well, it's metal. It's probably what you expected. But I'm curious if we go ahead and we do the same thing with just a little bit of metal. How much pressure it can take. I think it'd probably take a little bit more. I mean, we're going to see the rock break pretty much. Yeah, that was super fast. The rock breaks. And you can see that the rock moves out of the way. It lets the ice is actually getting kind of under there in between the layers. But even though the rock broke, in it, quite a dramatic break as well. That's a huge crack. The metal just does not care yet. And then we add a little bit more. And look, the rock is still cracking in all of these different spots. And we saw the metal stretched there pretty dramatically, but it's still holding, even with the side of the metal being weakened by the sun over here. All right, a little bit more pressure. Oh man, wow, the ice is literally like morphing through the atom lattice. It's like getting through the tiny cracks in between the atoms of the metal, but the metal still hasn't broken. Still hasn't broken. I'm gonna keep injecting more and more pressure. Oh, look at it stretch! Oh, same thing as before. The ice is literally trying to phase through it. It's pretty dramatic. It's pretty dramatic. And then if I just add a little bit more pressure, it's stretching even more. Even more. Oh, there it goes! There it goes! Oh man, that was crazy. It held so much pressure. Like, look at the quantity of ice that was holding. That is insane. It's like twice the size of the actual container was in the first place. Actually, maybe even more. It's still expanding. Wow. Alright, guys. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Look at the destruction. Alright, as always, thank you all for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed If not, still like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what I can do better, what you want to see next time, and make sure to join Valor, because Valor is where you can talk to me and the creator of this game, Mr. SST himself. Go over to valor.gg, join up, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out. Hail Vooperia.